Welcome back to this real estate weekly lesson. My name is Greg, and today I'm going to tell you why money and speed are best friends. And I will never forget the first time I heard the phrase money loves speed in business. And boy, oh boy, is that true. So if you want to learn how that works and why it's important, you are in the right place. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you can do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, like the video. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple or any podcast platform, if you can share the show with someone who you think would get value, that would mean a lot to me. And if you're a super fan, if you could repost this on social media, that would be awesome. So that's how we keep growing the show on a weekly basis. If you're not familiar with who I am, I've been a full-time real estate investor now for 10 years. I've done 500 completed properties. So I've done a bunch of deals, got experience. This is not regurgitated theory out of a book. And of course, this is baseball. So first things first, let's talk about the money loves speed. So this is something that if you want to be a highly successful performer in the real estate investing business, you need to get married to this phrase. Money loves speed, right? People who are successful, people who make a bunch of money, they work quickly, they work urgently, and they understand that time kills deals, right? I always see this with people. If they're not successful, usually they're slow to react, they're not urgent, and they don't operate with urgency. And because of that, they lose opportunities. The reason money loves speed is because good opportunities aren't there forever. Good opportunities come and go like a fiddler's elbow, in and out real quick. You got to understand that, right? Let me put some context around this, right? Let's say that you're in this business and you're trying to buy a flip and it's listed on the market, okay? And it's an on-market property, but you know that the listing price that the realtor is asking is a price that allows you to pay it, renovate it, and then you know the value on the back end after the renovation is much more than what you're paying for the property, and obviously you know your numbers. If you don't work quickly and wrap that deal up with speed, you're not going to be able to make money, right? If you sit on your ass and you run the numbers 17 times and you call your appraiser and you call your contractor and you fart around, somebody else like me is going to come in and see that same opportunity, and we're going to write a non-contingent offer day one, probably wrap it up, and be able to fix and flip that house. Money loves speed on market. Now off market, let's talk about off market. Let's say you get a motivated seller, and I'm going to give you a real deal example on this in a minute, but let's say you have a motivated seller, they call in, they want to sell their house, you sit on your ass and you don't act urgently. What will happen in that case is that seller is motivated, they're probably calling more than one investor, and the first person to actually make them an offer, or the first person to get out to their house ASAP, is going to get the deal. And you are going to lose that deal, and you're going to lose that opportunity where you could have made $50,000 because you didn't have any fucking speed. You need to work quickly. When you have a deal that you get under contract, take it to the escrow company immediately. Don't let it sit on the shelf for 5 days. You have a wholesale deal you want to sell to your buyers, send it out that day. Don't wait till next Tuesday to put it out on your dispo day. Send it out immediately. Most likely your first offer is your best offer. Money loves speed. Remember that. Successful people operate with urgency. Deals don't last forever. When you have a good opportunity, there's a short window where you're going to be able to make that opportunity into revenue for your business. Now, let me talk about a real deal where money loved speed. So actually, I'm going to talk about two deals. The first one was in New York. The second one was in Delaware. The one in New York happened like this. I was living in California at the time. Seller called in on Friday night. They inherited the property. It was their grandparents' house. They said they want to sell as is to an investor. They had an appointment set the next day for someone local to go see it. I was in California. That was obviously not going to happen. I wasn't flying over the country overnight. So I said, hey, I understand you have somebody come and take a look at the house. Let me ask you this question, Mrs. Seller. If I made you an offer that you were happy with right now, would you just commit to selling me the house and cancel the appointment with the other person tomorrow? They said, yes. I said, well, what price do you want? And they said, well, they gave me a price. I said, well, I don't think I'd give you that price, but would you consider this price for it? I knew the area, I knew what the values were, understood it needed work. And they said, yes, that would be much better. If you could pay that price, I will cancel my appointment and I'll sell you the house, Greg. They canceled the appointment. That other investor didn't have a chance in hell to do the deal. I ended up wholesaling that thing for $40,000 because I knew that the seller was shopping. And I asked the question saying, if I gave you a number that you were happy with, would you sell now? And they said, yes, because they valued speed. Now I'm going to give you one more example and I'm going to wrap the video up. Delaware property. Guy called in, I believe it was off Google Ads. And he said that he had a property he wanted to sell. He had somebody going there on Saturday. And I said, well, listen, sir, if I make you an offer that you're happy with over the phone, would you just sign the contract with me right now so we don't have to even worry about the other investor? He said, yeah. So we negotiated. We agreed on a number that he was happy with. He signed a contract with me virtually canceled the appointment, and I ended up wholesaling that property for, I believe, $18,000, right? Because I understood the seller was selling now, it was urgent, and he wanted speed, and I knew that there was money there to be made to provide value to the seller by giving him an offer that he agreed on, which he did. So you got to understand in this business, when you have an urgent situation, you need to act quickly and understand that these deals and these opportunities are not going to be there in 2 weeks. They need to happen now. Understand how important that is. That will make you a bunch of money in this business. You'll thank me later. And if you got value from this video, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening, share it with someone else. And last but not least, if you're in the Hudson Valley, or you're in the state of Delaware, or you're in the Seattle area, you have a house you want to wholesale to me, I will act with speed. I will do what I preach. So hit me up if you have a wholesale deal, and I'll buy it if the numbers make sense. My email is greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. Once again, that's greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. My Instagram is @grego_37. I'll see you on the next REI Weekly Lesson. Take care.